So, instant reactions to game three. Game three happened last night. Nuggets won 109 to 94 against the Miami Heat. Kind of was towards after the second half of the game. It was kind of Nuggets like control most of the game until late in the fourth quarter. The Heat started to make a little bit of a comeback, cut it to 9, but then Nuggets put the pedal down a little bit more, then went back up double digits. So, Dan, thoughts on Nuggets getting game three in Miami to go up 2-1?
On the box score, it's a 15-point difference, but I think the game was a lot closer, personally, because Miami, they were missing the shots that they've been making pretty much all playoffs. Bam Adebayo, he started off aggressive, but he was missing easy layups at the rim early on even, so you can kind of tell what type of game it was going to be for them. It was hard for them to get the lid off the rim. Gabe Vincent, he's big on their offense all playoffs. But he couldn't even buy a shot. He was in foul trouble. There was a stretch in the first half. Every time it looked like he was involved in anything, it was just not going his way, whether it be a foul. That's what it was mostly. Foul trouble for him. It didn't let him get into rhythm. Couldn't get his shots up. So just things like that. It's just the little things. On the biggest stage, when everyone's good in the NBA Finals, you couldn't get to the NBA Finals if you weren't good. So execution and discipline, all those things, all the little things, really, they just add up. And if you're not on top of your game, or you start sweating the little things, and you know what I mean, you're just not under composed, this is what your first half will look like. Even they were still hanging around in the first half too, but the guys that the difference makers for them, not just Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, but Max Strus, even Kevin Love, he got into early foul trouble. He started the game, and he was big for them in their game 2 win, but he was a non-factor. Caleb Martin, he was more of a factor than he was the first 2 games. I will say Duncan Robinson. So just for Miami, it wasn't really their night, I guess. But Denver, they always come to play. I'll give them that, bro. They always come to play. If one person is lacking, the other people will definitely pick up their slack. That's kind of what most teams in the NBA, I guess, lack nowadays. In the league that's so driven by star power, I feel like the Nuggets, their depth and their team glue, just the way their roster's made up, it's made pretty good, to say the least. It's made pretty good, to say the least. There's not many holes, so if you're not coming to play for all 4 quarters with Denver, it's going to look ugly, or you're going to have 15-point games that you don't feel like, you know what I mean, you were too far out of. So hats off to Denver on the win, but yeah, it's my point of view.
Yeah, this was really just the Jokic and Jamal Murray game. First teammates in NBA history dropped 30-point triple-doubles in an NBA Finals game. Murray had 34, Jokic had 32, 21 boards, 10 assists. Jokic leads all of the postseason in points, rebounds, and assists. If he does that for the rest of the finals, then that will be the first time in NBA history that someone has led in all 3 statistical categories. So Jokic is proving that he's might be the best player in the league.
Might be. Actually, yeah, he might be.
I mean, I've always been a Giannis guy. I mean, there's a little bit of bias there, but I've been saying Giannis has been the best player for the last 4 years. But Jokic is up there with. I mean, you're splitting hairs at this point with him and Giannis. I know we talked about way back between the two of them who was the MVP. I mean, Jokic has proven that he's the MVP of this season, even though he didn't even win it against Embiid.
That's how it goes usually in the NBA.
Jokic, I mean, Steve Kerr said this on the Draymond Green show a couple days ago, that it's not about Jokic, like stopping him. It's about really Jamal Murray, and if you can stop him, because if Jamal Murray's putting up 30 points, Jokic is going to be right there with him too. So Jokic is going to get his 25, 19, and 12 on any given night. I mean, he's just a walking like elite basketball player. He can't jump for nothing. He's not athletic. He's not gonna dunk on you. He's not gonna put the dribble moves on you. He's not gonna do any of that. He's just a straight like skilled basketball big man at 7'1", 7'2", whatever he is at. So you're not gonna be able to stop him. But when Jamal Murray is on, like he was on yesterday, the Nuggets are basically like unbeatable, basically. So it's really it's going to come down to Murray and Butler. I feel like the series. If Butler's not giving you 30, he needs at least 30 for them to have a chance. I mean, he had 28 yesterday, and they still lost by 15. So if Butler's not going off, it's going to be this type of game. The rest of the series, I feel like it'll be, Nuggets will be up 10, 12 maybe, but Heat are going to have another game, I feel like. They'll have another culture Miami Heat win, I think in game 4 too as well. I think the next game they'll win.
So you think they just split the series at home, each team, 1-1?
I think it'll be split. I originally picked Nuggets in 5 just because I thought they would win both games at home. The game 2 that they lost, they just looked like they didn't really care to finish that game. Michael Malone talked about it after the game that there was no effort there with them after the game 2 loss, and that's the case, because if they're giving their effort and they're playing Denver Nuggets basketball, the Heat have no chance to beat them. I mean, it's just that simple.
That's very true, very valid. When they're on top of their game, yeah, man. Like I said, when they're on top of their game, it's just a very hard team to compete with. You're gonna need to go like what Kevin Durant and Devin Booker were doing. Like, you're gonna have to be able to average 35 on 80% shooting. Just absolutely inhumane numbers. You just got to be out of your mind, basically, to compete with a team as, I don't want to say it's even their skill level. I feel like they're just so like, there's just a tight-knit group and they all understand their roles. They're all really bought in. And I don't know whether that be from the coach, from Jokic, from their guys like Murray and Jokic. They know what they have and they just want to rally behind them. But yeah, shout out to Denver, bro, because it's really looking like they do have their first ring. But now that I've said that, I want to say Jimmy Butler, his game, I don't want to say he had a good game, because he was definitely doing enough, but that's the thing. On this stage, against the guys that you're playing against, you got to do more than enough if you even want a chance. Really, like you said, he's probably got to average 30 or put up 30. And that's just the bottom line of what he probably needs to do, unless he's going out and getting like 14 assists. You know what I mean? You can have 20 and 14 and 12. If you want to drop a triple-double, you know what I mean? By all means, go ahead and affect the game in other ways. But I don't know if Jimmy's going to be able to do that as much as he would like to, because I'm sure his ankle, he's been complaining about it. I think he injured it in the Knicks series. I don't know how bad the injury is, but he's been playing through it since. So, and that's the thing. When you're playing through injuries, you don't really get a lot of leeway. You know what I mean? From fans, on the fan side at least. From your teammates, your coaches, people in the organization, they'll know what you're going through. But from the fans, we just look at it like, you're out there on the court, bro. You better perform. So, I mean, bottom line, I guess he better perform, and you better start dropping some more points. And in Game 3, he looked more aggressive. He did come out firing. I don't want to say on all cylinders, because it's not like he was automatic, but he looked like Jimmy Butler had in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs or so, in the first half of the Boston series too, I guess, kind of. But and I think the Miami Heat are a better team when Jimmy Butler's more aggressive. So he needs to keep that going for him, because it's kind of like a Jokic effect. I don't want to say he's the same player as Jokic, it's not what I'm saying, but it's like a Jokic effect. The players, they rally behind him, they get him going. So especially at home too, I think it's more important for Jimmy to have one of these games, one of his iconic, you know what I mean, 40-point, just bully. I don't even know if it's really bully ball, but kind of like Debo effect, like DeMar DeRozan type buckets, you know what I mean? Like, he's just going to impose his will. He's going to get his. And yeah, he's got to be the X factor for Miami. I was talking maybe Caleb Martin, Bam Adebayo, who's actually been pretty good this series. I didn't think he was going to be, but kudos to Bam. But it's got to be Jimmy. So we'll see how he fares in Game 4, I guess. We'll see how he gets to that. But he's shooting more mid-ranges. not as many. He's shooting more threes too. I always knew he could shoot the three. I don't know why he stopped shooting the three ball, but now it's back in his arsenal. So who knows? Maybe we get a six 3-pointer Jimmy Butler game coming up soon. Oh yeah.
He's also shooting more threes because he's tired. I mean, when you're shooting more threes, I mean, if you're hitting them, yeah, but I think he was only 2 for 4 from three, so it wasn't like he was just like lighting them up. So, I think he's exhausted. He's playing 40 plus minutes every single game. I know he's getting like 2 days off of rest, but still, I mean, with the ankle injury, he's been playing 40 plus minutes probably every single series and every single game. So, but I agree. If Jimmy's not firing on all cylinders, the Heat don't have a shot because the Heat rally around Jimmy. Whatever Jimmy's doing, that's how the Heat are going to really play.
I looked the past few games. I don't want to say like 7. I think it's more like 5-6 games or so. He's averaging like 2-3 threes a game, somewhere in between there, and he's shooting like 40%. So it's a good shot. It's a good shot for him there. If he needs to up his attempt numbers, forgive me. He needs to up his attempt numbers. 7-8 maybe, 7-8 threes. If you're shooting that at a 40% clip, it's like 9-10 points extra. And he's already averaging pretty much close to 20. So you know what I mean? It's your 30 right there. Jimmy, just shoot the 3 ball. And that's kind of the same case I have for Giannis. I know it's a little sidetrack for Giannis too. If he wants to be the best in the world, Giannis as a 3 ball, he's pretty much by far the best in the world in my opinion. But just buy in, fully buy in. I know I was just talking about them buying in, fully buy into that offense, Jimmy. Let the 3 go, and I think it'll work out in their favor. Another thing though, Miami, if the threes aren't falling, like they weren't falling in game 3, they weren't really falling in game 1, what do you do? How do you beat this Denver Nuggets team? Do you think they even have a chance, like on the court, if the 3 ball's not falling?
Miami has to win the 3-point, the shootout between the two of them, and they have to win it convincingly too. It can't just be like they make 1 or 2 more 3-pointers on Nuggets. They have to make 5-6 more 3-pointers in the game for the Heat to have a chance to win. I mean, that's the recipe for success. Letting Jimmy go off and then being able to hit those threes when Jimmy gets the double teams and stuff like that. When you got Duncan Robinson in the corner, you got Gabe Vincent at the top of the key or whatsoever. Kevin Love floating out to the corner 3 as well. They have to hit threes. That's that and Jimmy. That's their offense. That's the only way they're going to win. Tyler Hero was supposed to come back for game 3, but I guess he's going to come back for game 4. Maybe they did that on purpose just because they feel like, okay, we already won 1 in Denver. We go down 2-1 here in Miami. It's not the end of the world. I mean, they've done crazier things this postseason. So hopefully Tyler Hero can help unlock some more offense for the Miami Heat in game 4.
I definitely think he will. They were talking about his fit. You know what I mean? When he just comes back into the middle of the series, final series, he's been out since what? Game 2? Game 1?
Game 2 of versus the Bucks. Yeah.
So if he comes back in, somebody's losing a lot of shots. Whether that be Gabe Vincent, I think it's probably going to be Gabe Vincent. Whether that be Max Strus. Honestly, I do think it's going to be Max Strus. So yeah, Max Strus, they kick him out the starting lineup, and I don't know how much of a detriment that's going to be. Maybe that's just my beef with Max Strus, but yeah, I definitely just slide Tyler Hero in there. So we'll disregard what they're talking about. I feel like that's just a narrative. They don't want.
Or you throw Tyler Hero off the bench as a 6th man to give some juice to the second unit. Let's say.
That's smart.
Jimmy's a little bit more tired. In the second unit comes in, then you got more firepower coming off the bench with him and Hero.
I completely forgot. Like Hero, for the first 2 years of his career, he was even coming off the bench. He was averaging like almost 20 off the bench. So definitely a possibility too. I like that avenue a lot more, if I'm being completely honest. So I think that's probably what they're gonna motion for game 4. If he does get that clearance, he was going through shooting shoot-arounds, shooting warm-ups, things of that nature, shooting workouts, and I saw reports like his hand was still swelling up and it was being sore after. So I don't know if it's going to be game 4. I feel like game 4 is too vital, bro, and they're down 2-1. If they're down 3-1...
It's a must-win for the Heat. Game 4 is a must-win for the Heat.
So yeah, I think he's gonna try and make a push. He's gonna try and come back game 4. Because if they're down 3-1, game 5, he's out for the series. I guarantee you they're not bringing him back. I guarantee you. They're not even gonna risk that.
Yeah.
So
it makes no sense bringing him. His first game back would be in the altitude against Denver. In the NBA down 3-1. That just sounds like the worst case scenario to come back from. So if he doesn't show up in game 4, he's basically done for the series. And so are the Heat if they lose game 4. So game 4, I think will decide how many games this series will go.
I fighting them for real. We know they have fight, but
it's just, can they beat that well-oiled machine in Denver?
It's like,
that many times. 4 out of 7. That's just hard to do.
You're right. Definitely right. I think though, like the game 2, it showed that they definitely can. I don't know how many 3-pointers I'm gonna go back and even look right now. Matter of fact, I don't know how many threes they had to hit to pull that off in game 3, and they still only won by 3. And they hit 17 3-pointers. That's crazy.
And they only won by 3.
Ridiculous. You said something about the 3-point disparity, like the 3-point battle, and yeah, they have to win that too. Even in this game, Denver made 5 3-pointers. Denver shot 28% from 3. Miami, they made 11. They made 6 more threes, and they lost by 15. So
yeah, they both shot 20 free throws too. So that's not even the reason why. That's what I'm saying. The only way the Heat can like legitimately win games, unless Jokic and Murray are just like not even in the game for some reason, they just disappear. Like Tatum and Brown sometimes in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're gonna have to make 3-pointers, and they're gonna have to make more 3-pointers, like 5, 6, 7 more than the Nuggets do, which that's just hard to do.
Yeah. If any team can do it, I guess it's Miami. They've just been the anomaly themselves the entire playoff. But they're going against the ultimate anomaly, the ultimate mismatch, bro, in Jokic. And what was it? The first ever 30-20-10 game? That's just an hit, bro. It was another regular season game for that dude. Really. The way, that's the calmest, that might have been, the smoothest, most calm, record-breaking performance I've seen probably with my own eyes, ever. And I watched Donovan Mitchell score 71 points on the Bulls this season. I watched that happen. And still, Nikola Jokic, his game is just different from anyone else's. He's so good at taking what the defense gives him. He's not overreacting to what they throw at him, whatever the personnel is, unless it's some Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm talking about generational type of athlete that's going to be able to match up perfectly with Nikola Jokic, and just that's his only job. Or if Jokic doesn't even foul him out the game first, using his brain, using his head, there's just no way to guard him, because he takes what the defense gives him, and he's so good at getting other guys going off of that too. Most of the time he plays as a decoy. And most of the time he even scores, I've noticed in this series, it's been off of, for lack of a better term, just deference. He's passed it to another guy, and the shot clock's maybe been winding down, and they throw it back to the best player, and they said, do something with it. So, you need a bucket. Say no more. Step back 3 over Anthony Davis's head. Step back 3. My bad. Step back 3 over LeBron. You know what I mean? Or you've seen it. We all know. We're all witness to it. This guy, man, I'm even at all right now just debating it, on this show. Why am I even trying to argue for the Heat? Why? I don't want to say it's over, though, but it's over, man. It's over. We just laid out, I don't want to say we laid out every possibility, but every rational possibility, because we know Spoelstra's a mastermind. Anything that the Miami Heat could possibly do, bro, it's not happening. Bottom line, it's just not happening. There's no one on good enough. Bottom line, no one good enough from the past 3 games that they've shown us that can hang with Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray, he might be the head of the snake. Your number one problem is Jokic, and it's war trying to stop him. It's literally war tactics. You just have to think of something completely unconventional. Just Nuggets in 5. Nuggets in 5. You don't want to say it, I'll say it. Nuggets in 5, bro. Nuggets in 5.
Well, I guess we flipped because I was Nuggets in 5 before the series started, but now I'm going Nuggets in 6 just because I just don't see the Heat losing both games at home. Yeah, Nikola Jokic, the plays aren't even being ran for him. He's initiating the play for someone else, whether it's Murray or Michael Porter Jr. or even Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon's been stepping up in the finals with his like scoring ability. Like, I mean, that's just someone you didn't expect or even need him to perform to the level that he's performing at right now. He's been guarding Jimmy and tiring him out on the defensive end too. So he locked up LeBron in the Western Conference Finals too. So Aaron Gordon deserves a lot of credit. I mean, he's an underrated player. I mean, we always thought he was like this dunk contest like phenom, which he is, but he's a legit like basketball player now, and people are finally understanding and realizing that now. But back to Jokic, I mean, he's like, you have to beat him up here before you can beat him, you know, face to face and guarding him or anything like that. You have to literally trick him like a quarterback, like Tom Brady throw an interception to get him off his game, basically, to be able to stop him, like to literally neutralize him. So that's the only way I see that you can beat him. He's too big, he's too skilled, he can shoot the ball, he can pass the ball, he can dribble the ball, there's just so many things that he can do. You have to literally beat him up here. This is the only way you can, I feel like, neutralize him.
Man, I just don't know. Like, the salary cap keeps growing. How much money is this man going to get on his next contract? Do you think he's going to get paid the most in the league? A little side tangent, but still. Because the level of play, bottom line, I've never seen anything like this. Never seen anything like this. You can chalk it up to his level of competition, whatever you want. You can chalk it up to his system. I don't know why you would chalk it up to a system. Me personally, you know he's not a system player. Never seen anything like this. But yeah, bottom line, this level of dominance, this level of skill, IQ, into his size, it just makes you wonder, like, what's Wembanyama gonna do? Just the next generation of this sport. But yeah, pretty much kudos to Denver at this point. I don't want to count Miami out because they've been counting out this entire, even before the playoffs started. When they started in the playoffs. You
just said Nuggets in 5 though, so I feel like you are counting them out.
What choice do I have? Do you see the guy that you're playing against? What did you see what he's doing? 30, 20, and 10? And he's not even trying to be the main option. I don't have any options. I don't have any choice. Jimmy Butler, look, man, I don't want to go against you, bro. You guys know how I ride for my Bulls. You know. But this is just different. This is a different man. LeBron James, look, there's tiers. There's tiers of superstardom. When you're a superstar, there's tiers of superstardom. You got the Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum range. You know what I mean? They're superstars. We know what they're doing. We know what they're capable of.
They're regular season superstars. Exactly. Regular season superstars.
They get to the playoffs, they're perennial losers. No offense, but it is what it is. I know they made the finals last year, but Jason Tatum, he went ghost in the finals. There's people like that. And then, we got the Ja Morants, the young superstars or whatever. People we know. Anyways, my point is, Jokic is on that LeBron James type of timing. I want to say Giannis is too. I guess we'll put Giannis in that tier too.
Curry too.
Curry too. The guys, like, you just pretty much have no answer for them. You're at their mercy. At their mercy completely. This series, here's my final answer on this. Here's my final answer, my final take on how long the series is going to go. I'm able to put this together right now. This series, it goes as long as Jokic wants it to go. It goes as long as Jokic wants it to go. Bottom line. We knew that before, but game 3, game 1, and game 2 and game 3 even. He had 40 points and he lost by 40. Dude, the difference of that game was like 2 or 3 assists. And Jokic, he was passing the ball. His teammates just weren't hitting. The difference between that game is 2 or 3 assists, one more 3-pointer. If Kentavious Caldwell-Pope remembers how to play basketball, the Nuggets are sweeping him. Aaron Gordon, if Michael Porter Jr. remembers how to play some defense, the Nuggets are sweeping him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's Jokic. Jokic is going to do Jokic. He's going to drop 40 points, but you could still lose that game. I mean, Jamal Murray, that's what I'm saying. He had 18 points in the loss, and he was 3 for 8 from 3. Now, that's not terrible, but that's the difference in the game. If Jamal Murray puts up 25, then they will probably win that game.
If Jamal Murray
takes
more shot, my bad.
You're good, but I mean, this was what they used to say about Kobe after Shaq left. Kobe would drop 40 points, but the Lakers would still lose. So they'd be like, "Oh, well, Kobe's having this great game." We'll be like, "Yeah, well, he can drop 40 points if no one else does anything." So, that's what I'm saying. Jokic is going to get his. He is going to get his. He's going to get his 30, 20, 10, 15, 40, and 75 or whatever. He's going to get all of that. It just depends on if Jamal Murray, I guess, when he wants to end the series, I feel like. Yeah. Because I think the Heat can live with him getting, can live with Jokic getting 40 and 11 rebounds, but he only had 4 assists. That's the point. If Jokic has 10 or more assists, that's when it's game over.
It's crazy we're even talking about assist numbers like this. you know, I understand it comes down to like possessions and stuff like that, like 2-pointers, 3-pointers, or whatever. You understand what I'm trying to get at, but this much emphasis on stopping somebody from getting others going. Who else have we even?
And not even stopping him. Low-key, they should literally just let him score all the 2-pointers and just defend the 3. Just let him get the 2s.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's literally war tactics. You have to resort to something like completely like you just wouldn't even think of.
It's the most backwards thinking ever.
This guy is crazy, bro. This guy is crazy. Wow, man. Well deserved. Everything that's coming to him, bro. Win or lose in the series, it's probably going to be win. Likely going to be win. Win or lose, bro, he deserves all the success he's getting, man. That guy is something else. It leaves me without words every time I start talking about him, bro.
It sounds like you want to give him the Finals MVP before the game or the series is even done.
What, bro? Even if they lose, he should get it. He should. He's clearly the most valuable player on the floor. Win or lose. Every time I watch him, dude, I just leave thinking like, is there anyone else like in history that can do what he's doing? That's the bottom line.
He's LeBron James as a center with no athleticism. That's literally like the best comp you can give him. He's LeBron James as a center with no athleticism at all.
If you showed someone this guy's box score, you would have been thinking he's dunking out the gym faster than
some Shaquille O'Neal just.
And then you show him a picture of Jokic, bro. And the guy is like, you're just like, bro, who is this dude? This dude looks like a farmer. Just like the most non-suspecting athlete. And this guy is putting up generational, like, I'm just out of words, man. Shout out to Jokic, bro. Shout out the whole entire Denver Nuggets. It's a good organization, bro. Mike Malone, he's doing things, man. He turned guys like Aaron Gordon, I don't want to say he was unwanted goods, but what was he drafted? Like number 4? He was a top 5 pick in Orlando, and he just didn't pay.
He was a dunker in Orlando, and he became a basketball player in Denver.
100%. They got guys like Bruce Brown. If you watch the Brooklyn Nets the past 2 years with KD and Kyrie, you wouldn't know who Bruce Brown is. You know he's a pretty good player, but he didn't really get his love and shine until he came out to Denver. Nobody even wanted him in off the free agency. That's what they were talking about. They said Mike Malone gave him a call, and they said, why is no one signing you? They don't even know how to play me. They don't know how to use me right. Teams worried about my efficiency. They say I'm not good on offense. They came in, they said, Bruce Brown, here's your role. Anything you do outside of that is extra. And now here he is, about to win his first NBA Finals ring. It's just wow. They had Christian Brown. The guy was on the bench the whole year. And he came in, he was giving buckets. Jimmy Butler, shooting floaters over Bam Adebayo. He was crossing their best perimeter defenders up, bro. I'm out of words. It's series, bro. Game, series, set, match. Over with. Nuggets in 5.
Hey, we were talking about Michael Porter Jr. needing to be an X factor. Had 2 points, shot 1 for 7 in the win yesterday. So they just don't even need him to do anything, apparently, and they'll still win by 15.
Going crazy.
Jokic is a double X factor, it seems like.
Triple double X factor. We'll say that. Even I've been out of words to say, cause wow. But you got anything else, bro?
Heat win game 4, though. I know we've been giving the Nuggets and Jokic praise. Heat win game 4. It'll be 2-2 going back to Denver, but then I think Denver gets the next 2 and they close it in 6 in Miami.
I like how that sounds. Yeah. If Miami wins game 4, then I do think it's no doubt it's gonna go to 6. But I don't know if the Nuggets even lose another game the rest of the series, no matter how hard Miami fights. They were missing a lot of threes, but I don't think it's mattering too much.
So you don't think they'll close it out in Denver?
So game 4, 3-1, game 5, yeah, they'll close out in Denver. We gonna see. But yeah, thanks for watching. As always, tap in with us, socials, follow, comment. Off-season stuff, it's coming sooner than you think. Football, basketball. We got to do some player rankings too. Top 10s, all that.
We got some stuff cooking. I know we've been doing more game reactions, but we'll get into more discussions and rankings and all that when NBA season's over with. Yeah. Can't wait for all that.